Right. So I'm going to get this call started. My name is Leroy Lawson, and I'm your host for tonight's webinar. And the information I'm going to be sharing with you on tonight's webinar is about a company called Traffic Monsoon. And this company, in no short term, it basically transformed the quality of my life when I first came across it. And this was a year ago. I went to a presentation back in March 2015 and looked at a revenue sharing business, because I've got an understanding of how revenue sharing works and how traffic exchange works. And I was invited to take a look at a business where I can get traffic to my website. Lo and behold, would I ever imagine that it would have gone beyond just driving traffic to my website? The revenue share side of the business allowed me to give up my day job within 4 months of me doing this business. And it's allowed me to travel around the world and actually do presentations and share this information, because it is a one-of-a-kind business. We've got a great track record. And as I go through the information tonight, you're going to see on the slides that results are not typical, because my results do not guarantee your results, but it's a results-driven business. If you do something, you're going to get rewarded for it. And so everyone's going to be doing this business on their own merits and for their own reasons. And so you heard from what my main reason was. I needed traffic to my website. And, as you're going to see through this presentation, you're going to understand how the power of that works and how one can generate revenue 24/7. And we have a really powerful system that allows you to do that. So tonight, just sit back, relax. Don't relax too much. I don't want you to fall asleep. But relax and take notes. If you're taking notes, if this is your first time, welcome to the webinar here. I'm based out in London, and I'm going to continue with the information, and I'm going to share how this was even possible for me back in March last year when I was working a full-time job. Then I started to do this business part-time, and the rest is history, as they say. So let's go through the slides here. Let's see what I'm going to cut through to the information here. Everything I'm going to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have, of course, an earnings disclaimer, because, again, everything that we're going to share tonight is obviously for illustration purposes. But most importantly, we don't know, to what degree you might be coming here for. And, past results do not guarantee future performance. It's like with anything, this is a business. And so there's no guarantees of anything that we're going to be able to give you, but we know from our track record that what we generate revenue from has allowed us to be able to create a very solid foundation of business for us. So whether you're here promoting your primary business or you're just here for an additional income, you're going to see tonight information is going to allow you to do both of those things. And you can start even from tonight. If this is your first time looking at Traffic Monsoon, we can show you from tonight how you can be up and running and actually make this work for yourself. So what is Traffic Monsoon? It's a domestic limited liability company, and in the UK we'll be more familiar with a limited company founded by a CEO called Charles Schofield. Now this gentleman launched this business almost a year and a half ago, and I'll tell you what, within 6 months of this business being launched, I went to a meeting in a hotel, looked at this back in March, and I was blown away by, the older operation. I'm very familiar with traffic exchanges, been using them for many years, and, used them primarily to obviously drive business to my websites, but I've never been able to make any money from them. So this was a first for me to be able to actually generate revenue from this, what we call a pay-to-click network, advertising network. So there you have it. We're going to pay you to click on ads from our network, and you can do this with, without having to go all over the internet. We have a platform, a portal where you're going to log into. Now, just to show you that Traffic Monsoon isn't just the only company doing this. There's a website here called trafficexchangelist.com, and it's a really good website. What you can do on here, you can see how many other players are in the market. Who else is actually in this space, this advertising space, which will allow you to promote your website and get visitors coming to it. So you can see on the slides there, Traffic Monsoon is ranked as the #1 there. the company below it is a company called Easy Hits for You. And what I thought quite interesting about that is that Easy Hits for You have been around since about 2003, and yet Traffic Monsoon has been around, you know, just about a year and a half, and already the #1 in the traffic exchange. And what I like to do, rather than just showing you on a PowerPoint, because with a PowerPoint, you know, things move, things happen. We're on an online business, you know, and I'm not here to fabricate anything or do anything that may look good on PowerPoint. So I'm going to go straight to their website and show you exactly what's showing right now. So trafficexchangelist.com. Actually, I had one up earlier. We'll close that one. You can see here, you can see a whole list. You can see Traffic Monsoon ranked as the #1. Yeah, like I said earlier, Easy Hits for You being the #2. And, you know, you've got hundreds. If I was to scroll through this list here, there's hundreds of traffic exchanges that you can go to get website traffic to your website. Now, what I thought was quite important for me was how well, you know, how well these companies really performing. You know, I looked at one thing called Alexa. Now, we're going to talk about Alexa in a minute, because Alexa is a way in which you can actually get your visitors, and you can actually track this to see how engaged your visitors are on your website. If there's people actually logging on, or no one's logging on at all, if they're actually getting any web traffic. And what I like about this was Traffic Monsoon has got an Alexa ranking of around 1,200. Now, if you look at all of the other exchanges that you can see, you know, in the, you know, here, this list here is about the top 29. Let's see, 29, 30. There's none of those in the top 30 that have got an Alexa ranking anywhere close there. You know, so you can check this out in your own leisure, and you can click on these websites and you can see which ones, you know, are actually performing any well. You can, you know, you can see their history, what's going on with them, and a bit of bio about the company and things like that. So this is a really good website. So I like going to the Traffic Exchange list. And again, this is updated every week, so you can see straight away which of the other websites are actually, you know, getting a higher ranking on this or getting lower. You know, it's all there for you to see. So, you know, this is a real live search, guys. So what about Alexa? I spoke to you about Alexa.com. You know, Alexa, again, is a really important company because they're owned by Amazon, and they allow you to actually see real analytics to see if people are actually logging on and things like that. So we did a slide here. This slide's going back a couple of months now, a few months now. Let's just go onto the website now and see what the traffic's like on Traffic Monsoon. So you can type any website in here. If you've got any suggestions, I can type them in as well. So we'll type in Traffic Monsoon and do find. Now, I've been around this space many years, and I know that any company that does anywhere near 1,000 is not an easy feat. Yeah, there's companies that have been online for many years that would love to have an Alexa ranking. As you can see from the previous example, you know, there was a lot of websites I went through, traffic exchange lists I went through, that didn't have anywhere near an Alexa ranking like this. So you can see where the dominant country, where they're getting traffic from. You go Russia, the other countries like India, Ukraine, UK, Venezuela, you know, got lots of different, in fact, Venezuela, every time I think of Venezuela, I think of the beauty contest that they used to show years ago, show my age there. So you can see this graph here, it shows a really up trajectory of traffic. You know, this is quite amazing, because you can imagine any company that is getting that level of traffic in such a short period of time. There's a lot of momentum there. So you can see there's a lot of business happening where people are logging on and being, you know, having interaction on the website. So that's really important. If you are a traffic exchange company and you make out that you are #1 or dominating your field, then you should be on this list. You should be on that traffic exchange list, and you should be able to, you know, people should be able to see how well your traffic is. Yeah, so we can see that straight away. So let's talk about this whole industry. Whoops, let me go back. Let's talk about this whole industry of advertising, online advertising. You know, we are operating in the biggest market in the world today. Make no mistake about it. Now, online advertising is absolutely huge, humongous industry. Now, up until Traffic Monsoon came around, how would one be able to just tap into this industry? That is, you know, it's a $1 trillion industry, and companies are making billions every quarter. How does one tap into this? Let me show you. This slide here, I think this slide really sums up everything I'm going to share with you tonight. You know, just take a few seconds and look at this slide. You're going to see straight away, every year upon year, the growth curve is incredible. Yeah, people are, you know, how would you say it? There's no slow up of traffic. People aren't slowing down, you know, buying advertising to promote their business. If anything, they're doing even more. So, you know, I look at the years where we had a big financial crisis and, you know, industries having a really major shock, you know, people losing jobs left, right and center. You know, look what happened to the industry. Is the industry still continue to climb? Yeah. And this is the amazing thing about it. You know, 2015 figures, if we had those on there, you know, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that those figures will probably be a lot higher than the previous year. You know, everywhere you go, you can see that there's more advertising being done. So many ways that people are trying to get their advert in front of the masses. Okay, so they're using different platforms you've probably logged on to today. So just make no mistake about it, guys. We are operating in the biggest space on the internet. Okay, so the number one selling product is traffic. So great, you know, regardless of the business that you're currently involved with, we're in a business that is, you know, the number one selling product on the internet is traffic. Everybody wants traffic. Everybody needs traffic, online traffic to their website, and is created through advertising. So I mentioned companies that you're all going to be familiar with, you know, companies like Google, Facebook, YouTube, yeah. Lots of them, you know, Bing, you can have look at Yahoo. I mean, you know, there's no shortage of in fact, Bing is a search engine of MSN. So, you know, there's no shortage of these companies that are making billions of dollars every quarter. Now, let me ask you a question. If these guys are making all of this money every single quarter, you know, how are they doing it? You know, if they're a search engine, if they are a what's it called, a video sharing site, or they might just be a social media site, how are they making all of this money? You've got to really look at what's going on here. You notice it yourself. They're doing it through advertising. In fact, 95 to 97% of their revenue is through online advertising. So when I showed you that previous slide, that's where the industry we're talking about. Companies like Google can make $18.7 billion in one quarter. You know, 3 months, guys. Just think about it. 3 months, they're making that kind of money. Not even a course of a year. You know, they're making that kind of income. So every time you're clicking on a mouse, guess what, guys? And you're clicking on an advert somewhere along the line, somebody's getting paid, okay? And it happens all the time. Imagine in your inbox right now, there's probably an advert somewhere. An advert maybe, you know, in the actual email itself or outside of it. And if you don't want adverts to appear, you normally have to pay a bit more to get removed adverts. And if you know, they're going to give it to you for free, they're going to make their money back and more through having adverts in the ad itself. So either which way, whether you pay to have ads removed or you end up clicking on their ads, they're winning. You know, it's a great system. So my real question to you guys is, why aren't you being paid for this? You know, you're the guys, you know, on this webinar tonight who have clicked on these things, you know, whether on YouTube or, you know, this lovely thing that pops up when you want to watch a video. You've got to wait 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 3 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it is, before you can move on and watch your content, because they know they've got a captive audience they can put an ad. And to be honest, I wish the ad that they want to advertise to you is actually anywhere familiar to what you want to watch. You know, some random stuff half the time that comes up. So if you're not getting paid for this, guys, you know, we're gonna change this, okay? If you're not making money through online advertising, now is your time to be able to benefit from it, okay? So with Traffic Monsoon, you're gonna get paid for clicking on those same ads, you know? So I don't know about you, but I've never received a check from Google, Facebook, or Yahoo, or, you know, the list can go on. I've paid money, Google, you know, for Google ads. I paid money for Facebook ads, and the money I've generated from that is not worth talking about on this webinar. It'll only start depressing me. So I didn't really make much money back from the money I paid out. But what you're going to see tonight, what you're going to learn tonight, is that whenever you do advertise with Traffic Monsoon, we have a unique system that allows you to earn revenue share based on you doing a very, very disciplined act that takes about 5 to 10 minutes a day. Okay, so it's the simplest way I've ever made money. Like I said, I started with this business purely on the reason because I wanted traffic to my website, and lo and behold, the income I started to generate from this business was more than my primary business and my job income when I started to look at what happened a few months down the line. So again, I wasn't looking for that, but that was what happened as a result. Again, my results aren't typical. Some people have had great results, some people haven't. It comes just down to the individual, but the opportunity is there for all of us to tap into this. Okay, what I love about this is that there's no special skills are required. Seriously, if you can click a mouse, you can make money here. It's as simple as that. There's a few things you just need to learn, some terminology, and how we go about it. But you are qualified if you can click a mouse and pick up your email. That's all you need to do this. So we earn revenue every hour. We have a revenue share model that pays us every hour, 24 times a day, guys. Definitely beats me getting paid one time a month. When I was working in the city, it's all fair and well until the month ran out. The money ran out before the month, right? I'm just trying to make it stretch, and it's still day 20, and I'm still got another 10 days to make this money last. So it was really important to know that this is a system that generates revenue 24 times a day, 168 times a week. What about 672 times for the month? Money is coming in. Okay, it's a great system. So there's 5 different revenue streams in total that you can benefit from. We have the profit share, which I mentioned. I'm going to talk about this a bit more detail, which is based around having an ad pack and you viewing 10 ads a day. So I'm going to talk about that in a bit more detail. You can also earn money what we call cash links. You can go on our platform. If you see an ad advertised, 1 second, 5 seconds, 60 seconds, you can click on that ad and actually earn money. So anytime you wanna start with Traffic Monsoon, we're not asking you to come with any upfront fees. We're just saying to you guys, check this business out. You can start clicking away on ads until you get more familiarized and more confident. Then if you wanted to buy some paid advertising, then that's up to you. That's totally your option. And this is how I talk to people. I say, look, we have a platform where you can advertise your business for free on our website. If you want to go and pay paid advertising, then we do have a product that allows you to earn revenue share. Okay, so what about matching bonus? This is a great thing about what we have here. They can now in turn start to do those clicks and start to earn some revenue from the platform, and then they can go and share it with other people. Now if they shared it with their friend and their friend does the equivalent of what they've done, let's say they earn $50 for the month, their friend earned $50, they will in turn earn $50. So they can earn a matching bonus, 100% match, not like 10%, 20%. This is a 100% match on what somebody else may be doing when they come into Traffic Monsoon. And then if you want to go out there and share it with other people, you can earn a 10% referral commission. And I'll talk about that in more depth. So this is a great thing what we have here. You can now go out and refer this to other people, but unlike anything else, you are not having to, be the person with, looking for referrals from day one, which a lot of opportunities out there, ask you to do. Now, obviously, if you've got your primary business and you've come to Traffic Monsoon purely for traffic, the last thing you necessarily want to have to do is have to, recruit other people in order for you to start earning revenue with Traffic Monsoon. The beauty about our system is that you can do that anytime you choose to, but it's an optional, it's totally a choice to you. It's totally optional if you want to go down that route. Now, last but not least, your traffic is going to go directly to an offer you're promoting, your website. So at the end of the day, you might have, you might come here, you might be joining a part of a network marketing business. It could be your own business. and you want to turn all of that traffic into cash. You want conversions. So, you know, that bit is down to yourselves. How well your website will convert visitors is totally down to you. But you might want to come here to build a list. And a lot of people do. They build a subscriber database. So if you've got an opt-in page on your website or some form of landing page, you're going to do a lot better than somebody who has no way of collecting a name and email, for example. So you can start building a list. And then in turn, that list, that subscriber list, you can start generating revenue from that list, okay? So it's important you have the right mechanics in place to really benefit from Traffic Monsoon. But if you've got your own business, that absolutely, you know, you're going to be able to leverage that and get a lot of visitors going to your site, okay? So how do we get started? It's really simple, guys. It's totally free to join. You do need a Gmail account. You know, strongly recommend you, you know, you have your Gmail, really important. Activate your account by clicking on 10 ads. Okay, so we have ads in our traffic exchange, and I'm going to cover this with a live example at the end of the webinar. But you're going to activate your account and you can buy ad packs. Okay, now these advertising packs, they are, you know, anywhere, they're going to give you traffic. Yeah, so when you're ready to start, these are $50 and they will give you 1,000 visitors to your website and some other good stuff on top of that. And I'll cover what the ad packs is actually going to allow you to do. And then every day, like I said, I mentioned earlier about having a committed time, 5 to 10 minutes a day, a disciplined time, 5 to 10 minutes a day, where you're going to view ads on our exchange. Okay, so we're not asking you to take over your life doing this. You know, the great thing about Traffic Monsoon is I don't care what business you're in. I don't care if you're the CEO or the janitor of that business. You can make this work for you. Okay, because everybody has 5 to 10 minutes to do this. And the great thing about it, guys, I think this is just fantastic leverage. You can invest your time, okay? Notice why I say invest, because you're not investing money into Traffic Monsoon. You're investing your time, saying 5 to 10 minutes, and then the return you get from that, from Traffic Monsoon, is incredible. So the profit share, you know, is something that I've never been able to you know, beat. I've seen this thing and I'm like, wow, this is just amazing. So you do one action, 5 to 10 minutes a day, and then you get paid for 24 hours. I mean, that is what you call leverage. That's the secret of the wealthy, guys. They, you know, they can be anywhere in the world and they have systems that work for them whilst they're anywhere in life. So an ad pack, I mean, talking about this, what is it? Now, I bought 2 of these bad boys when I first started. Okay. In fact, when I saw this business, 5 days later, I actually bought my first ad pack. And that was, you know, it was on the 24th of March. You know, I'm almost coming up to my anniversary in Traffic Monsoon, a year anniversary. I cannot believe this has been the best year in my adult life. I mean, this has just really, you know, changed my life in a major way. All from these 2 ad packs, ladies and gentlemen. I bought one in the afternoon. By the evening, 6 hours later, when I got home from work, because I bought my first ad pack at lunchtime when I was in working in the city. When I got home, I had seen the thing working for me, and I bought another one. I got that excited, so I bought 2, and that was it. I've not put another penny in, and I went from buying those 2, and with, you know, $100, my $100 that turned into a business that generated me, you know, $2,500 to $3,000 a day up until last month. I was earning that every day from this opportunity. So that was, my business was turning over, and of course it paid myself a weekly wage from that. So just going to show you the power of what you're going to see tonight. These ad packs are just it's a digital product. It's an advertising pack. They're $50 increments, and they're going to give you 1,000 visitors to your website. So that's what I needed. I needed traffic to my website, and they're also going to give you 20 visitors to a banner. Okay, so if you're here for the first time, you know, you're not too sure of some of this terminology, what is a banner, I'm going to, you know, spend a bit of time after the webinar to show you what a banner is. And don't worry, guys, we've got you covered. If you haven't, you know, got a website that you're promoting, don't worry, we're going to give you a Traffic Monsoon website and banner that you can go and promote. So don't worry about that. You can start with that from day one, and then we always recommend people go from there and actually, you know, sign up as an affiliate. I'll talk about that afterwards. So this is the great thing about it. You're going to benefit from your own advertising, and you can earn up to $55 from every advertising pack you have. So you can earn 10% profit share on your initial packs that you have. That's what I love about this. You know, we're not talking about, oh yeah, you're going to have to go out there and day one, in order for you to make money, you're going to have to bring in somebody on your left and somebody on your right and continue to do that. You don't need to do that to start this business whatsoever. You do whatever you want, whenever you want, in your own good time. And you can still make money from your own advertising packs. That's what I love about this. And then again, it's based on a profit share, guys. So I just want you guys to be clear here. You know, when money funds come into the company looks at what they've brought in and they share their revenues with those members who are actively doing what I've just mentioned, viewing 5 to 10 ads a day. Now, each ad pack has a roughly average about $1 a day. Okay. So, you know, each one will last about $1 a day, give you about $1 a day, and will last you up to about 55 days based on that. If the traffic exchange is any different from that, it may last longer. It may go even quicker. Yeah. It's not a set fee and it's not a set time frame. Okay. The only thing that is going to be set is the set that you're going to earn 10%. So when it hits $55, that's it. You know, you're not going to earn $56 from it, and you're not going to just, it's not going to finish when it pays you $54. It will pay you $55, but we cannot predict if it's going to be 55 or 60 days or 50 days. Yeah. But you understand how the revenue share model works. When profits come in, profits get shared out, you know, in a very even basis and a very, very healthy basis. So we totally love this. So I believe that it's impossible not to make money here. You know, if somebody wanted to not make money, then they just don't log in. That's the only way I really can fathom that somebody, if they joined Traffic Monsoon and they didn't make money, is because they haven't clicked on any ads. You know, we're talking about 10 ads, not 9 ads. They might not have clicked on 10 ads, and they didn't click on any cash links. I mean, we really make it straightforward for people to actually make money here. More simpler than I've ever seen. All the things I've ever looked at over the last, 20 years, I've looked at many businesses. I've never seen anything as straightforward as this that allows anybody, regardless of their background, to make money. Okay. And so if you have at least one ad pack and you've clicked on at least 10 ads a day, welcome. You're welcome to the money zone. You are going to tap in to the profits from the company when they get shared out. And remember, this gets shared out 24 times a day. So it's a great model. This model has been working great for me since I joined March last year. And that's why, I'm such a big advocate of this business, because I'm not the only one on here. We've got lots of other people on this webinar tonight whose life has been changed for the better because of this business. It's made a massive difference. So here's what you need to do. I mentioned it's free to join, okay? And again, there's no reason for you not to join, to be honest. If you're looking for traffic and if you're looking for a way to make an additional income, revenue that pays you even while you're sleeping, then, there's no reason for you not to join. The other thing, look, no sponsoring, you're not required to sell anything, and there's no monthly fees. The company's not going to charge you. Now, I've been doing this close to a year now. I've never been charged a fee whatsoever in Traffic Monsoon. Now, every other business I've ever joined, and in the businesses I'm promoting on Traffic Monsoon, they constantly charge me every month. Some of them actually charge me $300 a month to be a member of a particular program I'm in. $300. Now, most programs that you might join on this webinar tonight, you might not even make $300. But if your auto ship or your monthly membership is $300, then you hope that you're going to make enough money to cover that. What I love about Traffic Monsoon is the company does not want your money. Yeah, absolutely not interested in your money. They're more interested in your success. And that's what I love about it. So I say make it really accessible for everyone, regardless, like I said, regardless of your background, your skill set. I may be coming from an IT background, but that makes no bearing on what we need to do here. Everyone can do this, okay? You'll see how simple it is. Now, if you want to go out there and recruit people, great. We have a platform that will reward you. Let me just show you how that really works. And this is what really took me from, me coming in with 2 ad packs and going from 2 ad packs to close to over 2,400 packs. This is the power of what you're going to see tonight. So you're going to earn 10% referral commission when people either join you and buy a product. Notice I said when they join you and buy a product. You're not just going to earn 10% because they said, yes, let me sign up here, or any other reason. They are buying a product. Make no mistake. And it's not just on the advertising pack. We have 8 different products. So any one of those products that they purchase, you're going to earn 10% on. So the thing I really like about this is that it's straight away. This thing is dynamic. When they make that payment, it goes straight to your account. You know, your Payzar account or your Solid Trust account. Now, these are payment processors that we use, massive companies, and they can, you know, once you've got monies in your account, you can just transfer it to your bank. I love this process. You know, I did this on Sunday. I did a withdrawal. It was straight, you know, straight into my payment process, and then from there it went to my bank. So the process is nice, and you do that. You choose when you want to do that. You know, we're not saying you can only do it between Monday and Friday, or you have to send a support ticket to somebody in order for you to access your money. You can withdraw your earnings anytime you want. It's totally down to you. It's your call. And, you know, that's what I love about this. You know, you have a business that is very liquid. You know, you have access to it 24/7, and you choose when you want to, you know, pay yourself. So I'm going to give you a few examples of referral commissions. You know, if four members purchase 20 ad packs, you're making $400. So remember, keep in mind, for each ad pack, you're earning $5. Yeah. So, you know, each pack is 10%. Somebody buys $50, you know, work out the maths on that, $5. Yeah. So you've got 20 members purchasing 10 ad packs. That's $1,000 daily. How about if they're buying, you know, 2 ad packs? You had 100 members buying 2 ad packs a day. That's $2,000. It's a nice bit of money there. What about 200 members? So you can build your business up to have many members you want. And for those, you know, buying 4 ad packs daily, you got that's a $4,000 daily income, about £2,500. I wouldn't say no to that. So 200 members purchasing 4 ad packs daily, you know, and paid instantly in your account. That can take care of some things that may just arise. That's what I love about this. You know, when it comes in, you know, you can choose to buy more advertising with it, or you can choose to withdraw it. So the 2 examples here, and we've got somebody I'm going to invite onto the webinar to share her experience with this. But let me just show you a couple of examples here. Maria Conan, again, you can see the account balance. Let me show you here. Account balance $108. Effectively, she could buy 2 ad packs with that, because each ad pack is $50, and she got 51 sharing positions. So essentially, she's got, you know, we say roughly $1 a pack per day. She's roughly earning $51 from those packs in itself. So every day she can basically be buying another ad pack. And, you know, her total, now the total is based on business turnover. So this includes the ad pack. So the purchase of the ad pack and the profit is all included there. But these numbers will all add up, okay? The revenue from the sharing positions, okay, as well as what she's earning from the cash links, it all adds up and it goes in the total there. So the cash link earnings, she's done about $8 herself. She's earned a little bit from her 2 referrals. Well, like I said, she's only got 2 referrals, but she's earned $16 on that, okay? How about Peter here? So similar kind of thing. Once he gets another $11, he'll have $50, and then he'll be able to buy an ad pack. Now, he could click the withdraw button and take that money, that $39, or he can wait until his account builds up to $50 and buy another ad pack. We've got 210 sharing positions, so we say roughly $210 a day. And again, he's got over $5,000 total earnings. But you can see here now, he doesn't do many cash links himself, but he's earned, you know, nearly $3 himself. So it's a good thing that you can see there. Now, let's go a bit further. Let's look at Sibel. So Sibel here, again, $95 in a position where they can actually, she could buy another ad pack, and it will leave her with $45. Now, in this example, she has no ad packs herself. You see, I mean, no referrals herself. So her commissions is 0, and her own cash links, of course, you know, maybe a bit low, 35 cents. And obviously there will be no referral cash links because she hasn't got no active referrals in the system. But she has got a decent amount of ad packs, 268 ad packs. So, you know, she may be earning anywhere up to, you know, $280 on those ad packs. Like I said, it's not fixed on $1. It could be $1.20, it could be $1.15, it could be slightly less. Okay, and you can see she's earned $7,500 on her account. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to bring on a real testimonial, somebody who's I talk about pretty much every week. I do these webinars. I mentioned Amanda Baite, who's somebody I met actually in the Philippines, and got to meet her. Great lady, building a huge business. And I'm actually going to get her on the call for once, so you can hear from her rather than me telling you about her story. Let me just make sure she's there. Amanda, are you?
Hi there. Yeah,
Wonderful.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Lovely. So, yeah, thanks for coming on the webinar tonight.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. I'd love to hear about your journey, basically, with Traffic Monsoon. When you got started, and basically how it's helped you, and your own testimony in your own words.
Absolutely. I heard about Traffic Monsoon probably beginning of last August, and started talking to Ari Maccabee, who is my sponsor, and I spoke to him for about 3 weeks. My background, I've been self-employed for about 25 years in a conventional business, hair, beauty, and massage. So absolutely nothing to do with internet marketing at all. I did have about 15 years in multi-level marketing, but that's a completely different platform to this altogether. But I talked to him for about 3 weeks. I'd come into a lot of money, and I basically wanted somewhere to make it grow. It wasn't money that I wanted to just waste, really, and go on holidays with. I wanted to stop work, basically. Or stop going out to work, and I wanted to work from home completely. And he showed me Traffic Monsoon. I was already with another rev share company, but it wasn't performing as well as Traffic Monsoon. So I saw it straight away. It wasn't a complicated system. I got it. And I put in $40,000. And I bought 400 ad packs, and then the following week, or 5 days later, something like that, I bought another 400. And I've been repurchasing from earnings ever since. You can see my account on the screen there. That was taken this morning. With the transitions that we're going through at the moment with becoming independent, you can see I've got just over 3,500 packs pending. So with my referrals as well, I was earning around almost $4,000 a day. And it's crazy to think, oh God, I'm not earning so much. But even now, with the packs that I've got active at the moment, I'm still earning about £80 a day, which is £2,500 a month nearly, which is crazy for just sitting at home and clicking on 10 ads a day. It's absolutely mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing.
So the fact that I was doing it for $4,000 a day, and will be again very shortly, once those packs come back into play. And I will grow it until such a time that I'm earning $30,000 a day, which will be £20,000 a month. And that should take me, well, it was going to take till Christmas, but it's probably going to take a couple of months longer now. So maybe next February, March. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome.
I tell as many people as I can. I've got 130 sign-ups, 18 of which you can see at the moment are active. And I just keep telling as many people as I can because it's changed my life completely.
Thank you, Amanda. That's brilliant. And like I said, guys, we met out in the Philippines, and we met up with Ari, and it was really great, and Traffic Monsoon allowed that to happen. For me to even think about being in the Philippines when I first saw this it wasn't even an option for me to be doing that and spending that amount of time away from basically a job, what I've been used to doing all of my life, not being able to having to rush back to work was a very new reality for me. And it may, you may have been self-employed for many years, for you guys who are on the webinar tonight, but this actually freed me from that environment. And, we are, totally grateful for it. So this is what this business can do. And as you heard from Amanda, it's made a massive difference to her life. So yeah, clicking on 10 ads, you could kind of almost have to pinch yourself to see is this really real, that you can do that and live that kind of laptop lifestyle, that you kind of read about. So what makes this different? And I've looked at traffic exchanges. I've used them for many years. I've probably got a different edge on this than a lot of other people, and probably a different appreciation of Traffic Monsoon than a lot of other people have as well, as a direct result of me using a lot of exchanges. Okay, the big thing with what we have here, that retail customers, on the platform, on the actual website itself, you can see retail pricing, and somebody can see, a business can see it, somebody who's want to get traffic from their site, they can see the pricing clearly on the website. It's a straightforward website. There's lots of sites that are in the same industry, and they show pictures of money floating left, right, and center, and they show you everything else, nice house and stuff, but they don't show you actually this is actually a traffic exchange, where you need traffic for your business. And so I love the fact that it's very straightforward, straight-laced like that, and you can see straight away the prices. Free members can earn credits here. This is almost an unhidden. It basically is a hidden benefit. I say unhidden. It's basically a hidden benefit. Somebody can join for free, start it today, click on ads, and actually earn advertising credits, which they can actually advertise their primary business on our platform. I've lost count of how many people that I run into. They start a home-based business, and then just to be in that business, it's costing them an arm and a leg, and they just want a way in which they can advertise. Now, what are their options? Besides a company like Traffic Monsoon, what's their options to do paid advertising? Google, Bing, Yahoo, Facebook, whichever method you want to look at. And those methods can be very expensive. And none of those methods allow you to actually generate revenue back yourself. This is the first time you can actually generate something for yourself by advertising your own business. It's genius. There's no monthly fees. Again, this is another thing that separates this from a lot of other things I've seen out there that are operating in our similar space. There's so many pluses. And if you are looking at this for the first time, take a bit of paper, write down the pluses, the negatives, whatever it is. Just write them down, draw a line down the middle, the things that you like, the things that you don't like. And I'm telling you, hold that piece of paper up and measure it against any other business that you may see out there that are operating and doing what we're doing. I'm sure that you will see the benefits that you see listed here right now makes this stand head and shoulders amongst a lot of the other businesses that are operating. And again, you can go to trafficexchangelist.com. If a company is giving you traffic and it's any good, go to that website and do your own research and look at what we're offering. That's all I'm saying. So no monthly fees, there's no sponsoring requirements. There's no limit on ad packs. So you can come in with 10 packs, you can come in with 1,000 packs. There's no limit on that, 2,000 packs. And then we use Payzar as well as TrustPay as our merchant providers. And there will be another one added very soon in the next few weeks. So we'll have another payment processor, and further down the line, we'll be having our own processor in our own right. So you can see where this company is going. They turned over $500 million in sales in just over the first 12 months of doing business. Incredible success story. It's incredible success story. So many testimonials from people who have benefited from this. So fast start process, guys. You can roll for free. Make sure it's a Gmail account. Obviously get back to the person who's invited you on the webinar tonight. You can buy as many ad packs as you can, and view your 10 ads. Optional, refer other people. I say to people, understand the business first before you go out there and sponsor like crazy. Get an understanding of what it's about, and then go and refer people if that's your preference. Okay, but this is what you can do to get started tonight. And obviously, I love this, the fact that the internet does not sleep. Therefore, money does not sleep. We're in a business that runs 24/7. You can go to bed tonight and wake up in the morning and have more money in your Traffic Monsoon account than you did before you went to bed. I just love that element. I just totally blown away by that. Okay, so the time is great timing, 45 minutes on the dot. I like to wrap this up in 45 minutes. I also like to get any questions that you might have answered on the webinar tonight as well. So feel free, if you've got a question and a microphone, you want to unmute yourself, fair enough, you can do that. If you want to use the chat window, feel free to do that. I'm going to quickly log into my account real quick and just show you the platform, what we have here, and how you can benefit from it. So these websites that I showed you earlier, obviously the way for you to look on, you know, like Alexa, you can do your research from there. You know, go to these websites, go in there, check out Traffic Monsoon, have a look at it, go to Traffic Exchange List, you know, do your own little research there. Let me just ping these on the chat. Came onto the webinar late. I covered both of these sites. Go to Alexa. So you can look in the chat window and you can see those links I've just posted there. All right, so if I log in, let me quickly log in here and show you my account real quick. 6, 7. So feel free to ask any questions you might have, guys. No time to be shy here. We've got this is a good time to get any burning questions you may have answered. That's a nice view. So when you log in, you're going to see somebody's advert. Now, this could be your website, guys. This is called a login page. This could be your website advertised here in front of, you know, thousands of people logging onto the platform. And it's they've got a great system here. So you see,
8 years ago,
and I paused this ad here. You can see here, it says click here to go and watching. So this system makes sure people actually sees your ad. You know, they have to literally watch that ad for the 10 seconds to run down. So now you've got something that is, you know, you're going to get real visitors looking at your website. So that's one thing. I've used this login page and I'm telling you, I've been blown away by the amount of traffic it delivered to me. So you can see here from the platform, I mentioned about cash links. When cash links are available, they'll be shown here in the middle of my screen. So I'm going to click on it and they've got these ads. These ads are a 1/10 of a cent. Okay. So I'll click on it. They're 5 seconds long and I can earn, you know, that straight away. I mean, you know, the moment I put this code in, 417, I do a credit click, that's been accredited to my account. Now this is instantaneous, guys. Wow, there's a 2 cent ad. Now these are rare. They're 60 seconds long. And when I do see them, I go for them, you know. So this is allowing anybody starting tonight, you know, you can click on these ads and you can actually put this money into your account. It'll show you straight away into your account, anywhere from, you know, a 5-second ad, 60-second ad, anywhere from a 1/10 of a cent or 2 cents. Okay, so for 2 cents for 60 seconds, yeah, bring it on. You know, these are rare. When they come, you know, it's almost like a bit of a competition for me. Regardless of how much money I'm making from Traffic Monsoon, when I do see these 60-second ads, these 2 cent ads, I'm focused, you know. So I'm going to keep my eye on this. And this is what we do, guys. We can watch an ad like that. We've watched this one. Obviously, this is one of the longer ones for 60 seconds. And when it comes up, it will show me a number. And like the previous one, I'll just type it in straight away. So let's see here, down here, 803. Can I get it? Oh, it's expired. So that may happen from time to time. When you see the 2 cent ones, they don't last too long. Okay, so you've got to be real quick. So that I'll let somebody else. They needed that more than me. Put it that way. So I click back to my account, and you can see these are banners. These are typical banners. What you're wondering what a banner is? These are banners. You know, banner there. These are the smaller banners here as well, and these are the 4, 6, 8 size banners. So we have 3 different sizes of banners. Is that somebody who's got a question for me? I hear somebody unmuted themselves. Oh, no.
Yeah, hello.
Oh, hi, Peter.
Yeah,
Hi.
I've been wanting to join Traffic Monsoon for last couple of weeks, but I've been having trouble with the ST Pay, the Solid Trust.
SDP, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Last night, I finally got my credit card approved.
Yeah.
I put £5 in, and it absolutely slaughtered me on the commission. It took £1.78, leaving me £3.22. Now
Yeah.
I want to buy 100 ad packs. So am I going to get slaughtered in the same way?
Okay. What you can do, if for any amount, it doesn't have to be 100 or even less, you can wire that money directly to a Traffic Monsoon bank account that Charles has now set up. The details on that are actually on the news feed. So if you're doing a big transaction like that, I would recommend, let me bring this up here. Let me recommend you do that. So if we go to the news feed, there is, if I go all news, I can't remember the date offhand, but if you go here, you will find there's a section where there's news updated with the bank details. Oh, here it is. Look at that, straight in. So you can wire that straight to their bank here, and you've got that page. I'll put this page in the chat window, and then it's a lot cheaper. You won't get killed like you might be at the moment with those feeds. Okay.
Right, where are you going to put that?
I'll put that in the chat window. So there's a chat window on Zoom. Don't know if are you on a PC or a tablet or something?
Yeah, I'm on my laptop.
You're on your laptop. Yeah, there's a chat window that should have just popped up when I posted that.
Is that where it says chat for people?
Yeah.
Okay.
You click on that. I'll put the link on that. But basically, you can just go to Traffic Monsoon, the news section, and go to that date as well, the 12th of January. And then you'll have the Chase bank details there as well.
Yeah, bearing in mind, this is coming from a credit card, not cash.
I was coming from a credit card. Okay. Yeah. Well, you might want to see what Pays are going to do in terms of their fees. With Payzar, you can do a similar thing as I showed you there, but you can compare the fees.
They don't take MasterCard. Don't take Payzar. Yeah, you know what? Try to join. It's been a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah,
it's been really difficult. I find Solid Trust not user friendly at all.
All right. Okay. Well, I've been using them for many years. Once you get over the security, they're very secure. Once you get over that, they are pretty decent. They are reliable. But again, you've got to just check out what we're going to charge in fees. But yeah, if you're looking to do it by card, maybe we may chat afterwards. Okay.
Yeah, because the other thing as well. Now I've had my card verified. They're only limiting me to $350 a day. And I tried making a payment tonight, and I just had another problem. It's saying, we can't do this at the moment. We're going to track it. And it gave me a tracking number, and I just thought, oh, my God, this is like going on for weeks now.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. They don't find you having too much fun there with that. Yeah, but let's have a chat afterwards.
All right, then.
Yeah, we'll see. There must be a better way of doing that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So these are the two payment processors we have on the platform. So we've got Payzar and Solid Trust. There's how you're going to fund the account. If you did want to fund the account outside of that, you want to do a bank wire, you can do it here. And when you're paying yourself, you can pay yourself via Solid Trust Pay and Payzar as well. So any other questions, ladies and gents, before I go?
Hi, Leroy, it's Carl.
Hey, Carl, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Good. Good presentation.
Thanks.
Just a quick one. I've got someone who is about to set up a website.
Okay.
And obviously I would like to be able to send traffic to that website. Now, what's the process for that person buying traffic?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, if they want to run traffic, they've got a few options. Obviously, for me, the best one would be to buy an ad pack.
Right. So they actually have to join TM to then be able to buy. Right. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll still join as a member, even if they weren't primarily interested in the rev share.
Right.
They still buy an ad pack, and this is a good question there, because you may have somebody like that person comes on board.
Yeah.
May not want to buy, may not want to do the 10 clicks, may not just want to get the traffic. So they can do it without sharing. Okay.
Right.
So when they set up their banner ad, and then they can purchase it that way.
Okay.
But if they want, benefit, for them to spend 5 to 10 minutes, obviously they can benefit from it that way.
Right.
But yeah, they can do this as well by a pay-per-click banner credits.
Okay. But they need to be obviously a TM member to be able to buy traffic
they need
to their website.
Because then that way they'll be able to track their ads. Because they want to see how they're getting their results, so they can click on my website and then they'll see, I've got X amount of visitors left, or I've received so much already. Maybe I need to change something. So at least they'll be able to log in and view their website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, that's good. Just to say, it was regarding the Solid Trust Pay. I mean, I not too long applied for my account.
Yeah.
And it was pending, but I think the whole process took maybe about 3 days to be verified. I actually went for the standard verification.
Yeah,
because it gives you, I think it gives you up to $10,000 transaction amounts. So I'd suggest maybe if people look at the standard verification.
Okay. All right, that's good to know.
And I've got to say, Payzar wasn't bad as well. To be fair, I know we've had mixed experiences, but they've not been too bad for me, actually. To be fair to them. Yeah.
Well, I typically use Payzar, but I've had a Payzar and a Solid Trust account for a long time now. So, the verification and stuff, I had really done all of that prior to joining Traffic Monsoon. So
right.
So I've not really had that experience that people have had, but I do find Payzar pretty cool.
Right.
But we look forward to when things move on to the next processor, so that we've got better rates and we've got more control.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would add is just that obviously people need to be aware of the sort of transaction charges between their own banks, and obviously when it does hit Payzar or Solid Trust Pay, then there's a pretty heavy commission, I think, that for converting. For example, in my case, changing from sterling to dollars.
Yeah.
So if they do that, I've got one other question.
Sure.
And it's just regarding the 5 banners that we're now limited to.
Yeah, sure.
I know you did go over in one of your last presentations how to move a previous banner, which is in archive, to make it active. Are you able to go through that this evening?
Yeah, sure. So basically, with Traffic Monsoon, you've got 5 banners that you can have and display. So if there's a banner, like for example, I've got 5 here. This one's disapproved anyway, so I'm going to remove this banner, and then I'm going to go into my. Now, if you've got lots of banners from previous, you can go into archive and see, which ones you may want to activate again. Now, let's say I want to bring one of these to life. Let me say I want to bring actually one I really want to bring to life, which is say this one here.
Right.
Now the credits that were with my previous banner that I just removed, if I click on back to active ads, I'll show you what happens with that. They're put in a pool. So
okay.
Yeah, so when I go back to this one now, it's got 0 clicks left to it. So I go add clicks, and I look at, I've got 60,000 clicks from these are all from all my previous banners that may have been archived now. So if I archive any of them, they just basically add to my balance. So I'm just going to say add clicks. Well, did I just add 60,000? I did, didn't I? I just add 60,000. Probably I don't need all of those clicks going to that one banner. So I've got lots of clicks going to that banner right now.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So when you unarchive it, it'll come through with 0 clicks, but then it will look at what you've got accumulated, and then you can add.
Exactly. So let's say I put 60,000 there, which I don't need. Let me remove that one. Let's say for just for this example, and then these are all my active ones left over. If I want to add more clicks now, I'll go add clicks here. I've got 60,000 to play with. And I'm just going to add another 20 clicks, which is the equivalent of me buying another ad pack. So I do 20, because each ad pack gives you 20 clicks to a banner.
Right.
So I've just done the equivalent of me buying an ad pack there. So whatever ad banner you remove, because you might not be getting a lot of visitors to, then switch them out, and then you can dictate how many clicks you want to get to that, and then and then you can bring the ones back to life, the ones that you want. I do actually want to recover this one, and then start promoting that. Okay, so this is what you want to do, ladies and gentlemen. When you're on Traffic Monsoon, sign up to be an affiliate of different programs. Payzar will pay you when you're putting money in, when you take your money out. Those fees that you're going to get charged, why not make money as an affiliate to cover some of that fees? Or any other program that you might want to be part of. I'm into trading, so I've got some trading stuff on here. And if you're using GetResponse or Aweber to grow your list, they have affiliate programs. So join their affiliate programs and advertise it on Traffic Monsoon, because everybody in Traffic Monsoon needs if they haven't got one already, they need some form of list building system, and promote your one. Now, you would have noticed one thing as we're at top of the hour. The company updates their revenue share. So right now, I can't buy. You see here, it's been turned off for me to buy packs. Okay, that option is turned off. And if I click on my account, I don't think it'll let me surf. Let me see. It'll probably come up saying, it does let me surf at the moment. So generally, when they're doing the rev share at the top of the hour, if you do ever do it at the top of the hour, sometimes you may get that red start surfing button removed after working out their rev share. And also you won't be able to buy any advertising against the banner. Okay. Or when you're logging in, it may say you're not in the database. That's because they're updating their database at the time you're trying to log in. So never try and do your clicks a couple of minutes to the hour or a couple of minutes after. Give it about 5 minutes, and then you should be fine if you want to do your 10 clicks, because then you'll just get into that point there. So I'm almost there. I'm almost at $50, probably in the next hour. Just want to show you one last thing before we wrap up tonight. You can click on your ads, your actually active ad packs, and see what they are at right now. So last one I bought was at $1.31 this afternoon, and already it's almost at 40 cents. So again, this is what started me in Traffic Monsoon. I bought my first one. I started to see it work, and then by the time I got home, I seen that had already accumulated. Now the joke about it is that this is probably the interest I earn from my bank account. And of course we don't earn interest here, we earn revenue share. But you can imagine, just by doing that, buying one ad pack gives me the equivalent of what a bank wants to give me on my own money over the course of a year. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this tonight was of value to you. Get back to the person who shared this information with you, and make sure if you didn't get your questions answered tonight, ask them, and let's see you tapping into one of the best opportunities you're going to see out there to make more money for your business and to give your business more exposure. Okay, have a great night, and I'll see you guys absolutely at the top.
Thanks very much, Leroy.
Thanks, guys.